And welcome back. And we were at part 2 of this week's New Comics, bitches! So, on we go. Okay. FF number 7. Um, Again, this is like the previous issue. This issue deals with, the Kree and Black Bolt. The FF are nowhere to be found. It seems like Hickman is very much setting up something much bigger than what is actually going on. I don't know if he's just kind of killing time until the thing is kind of out of his Fear Itself mode. Although I do believe that a Fear Itself FF was out recently. Anyway, we've got Black Bolt. He is in the Fault. Basically kind of lost in this kind of creature-filled area, and he's using that whisper, that whisper to a scream, if you will. And then lo and behold, Lockjaw, always my favorite of the Inhumans, finds him and brings him back to Hala. Hala? No. Sorry. And I didn't know that the Inhumans seem to be kind of running, the whole thing as far as the Kree home planet. They seem to be ruling it, and he returns in a big way. And the Kree, they're asking for, they're demanding things, and basically there's a summoning that Black Bolt and the Inhumans must attend, and I guess this Black Bolt is king now, and like I said, he comes back in a really big way, and we go again back a couple 100,000 years to the Supreme Intelligence, and the Supreme Intelligence saw its own death as it got all this information from the genetic engineering that they were doing, and basically there is something that the Supreme Intelligence gives who I'm assuming is Ronan the Accuser, something to hide forever, which is basically like it's kind of like his escape plan, and so they're the Inhumans, they're back on the the blue area of the moon. That's where they get to, and this prophecy about one king with 5 brides, because there are 5 different brides for Black Bolt to not necessarily choose from, because obviously he's already married to Medusa, and he's apparently war is on its way. Now again, I don't know what this has to do with the evil reeds that are on Earth right now. Again, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, as with the previous issue. It's really kind of a conundrum, because Hickman doesn't do things by half measures. That's for certain, and that's something very admirable. I'm sorry, I had ginger ale. But he doesn't do things halfway. He goes all out. I mean, he's either, he's very, very high concept, and either it works or it doesn't. These two recent issues of FF, it hasn't worked. With Shield, it hasn't worked for me. A lot of people love it. I don't hate it by any stretch of the imagination. I do respect it. I just don't get it. Again, I know I've said this before, and I'm probably going to say it several times again. But I'm hoping that Hickman gets more back down to earth, as it were, and lets us know. So, okay. Moving on. We got Batman The Dark Knight, number 4. So this came out pretty quickly, because they really have to rush them out now so they can get so they can do the the renumbering in September. So this being the end of July, so we've got Finch writing, but we've got Jason Fabok doing the art, and he's really doing a pretty good job, basically emulating Finch's style. Again, we have more of this. We have this entrance again of this young girl, the one who stole the Batmobile. Apparently, her father's in trouble, our family's in trouble, and this information that she is supposed to have had with her, she might have left in the Batmobile. So that's that. We've got Etrigan versus Ragdoll in the sewers of Gotham. Sorry, not Ragdoll, Ragman. Ragdoll is Secret 6, Ragman is Batman. And I prefer Ragdoll as a character. I'm going to miss him. But basically, and then we've got, Bruce Wayne Batman. I hate having to differentiate. Again, it's just one of those things that's pissing me off about the Batman Bruce Wayne, Batman Dick Grayson thing. And that's one thing that I actually will be kind of happy for post-relaunch, is Batman is Bruce Wayne, and that's it. So, Dawn Golden being rescued by her, she kind of tells her life story about how she was kind of, born into this family where, he was kind of serving whoever, the Dark Lord, the devil. She was kind of intended to be a sacrifice. Even on his deathbed, he tried to kill her, but that didn't work. We've got this subplot about this Lieutenant Forbes that's trying to take Gordon's job away from him, and basically he's trying to do the old kind of cop setup where, we found a bunch of drugs with you, and basically he's just being like, this Forbes is being like uber prick, and basically setting up to be, we're going to be very happy when this guy is in jail or beaten to a bloody pulp, or both, or maybe even dead, who knows. Etrigan, he defeats Ragman, and then we encounter this character called Blaze, who seems to be this very kind of sexy, if you can see, this kind of very sexy red demon here, or red demoness, whatever. And she basically, because Etrigan has lost his rank, he's no longer a rhyming demon, so she offers to give him back the rank of being a rhymer, and then he will have his power restored. Of course, Jason Blood inside of Etrigan is screaming, "No way, I don't want this," because apparently at this level he has more control over Etrigan. But this is just more of his soul that he's selling. Etrigan says, "Yeah, give me it back. I want it." We've got, basically literally hell seems to be waiting on confronting Batman and Dawn Golden. Kind of a weak issue. I felt like, we've had, there's too much happening. I guess that's the thing that's bothering me about it, is that there's way too much happening in this issue. It feels like they are very deliberately speeding things up. That's a bad thing. Just in order to make way for what's coming. I mean, because this is one of the comics that could easily have not been part of the renumbering, very easily. Like I said, it's packed with, there's like 7 different plots going on, and it keeps shifting back and forth between all of them, and there's nothing linear really happening here, and there's nothing really emotionally to catapult this story forward, other than just finding out what's going to happen next. And I don't really like that kind of storytelling, so it didn't work for me. And I wouldn't say that this is even an issue worth picking up. I'm starting to think that it might not be even a series that's worth picking up, only because it's just at least from here on until. But what the hell, I'm gonna get it anyway, because I do like Finch's work. I've liked it so far. It's just that it's been, this issue is just really muddled and messy. So, no. Well, okay. One more. I'm going to talk about the surprise of the week. And that is Terminator ROBOCOP Kill Human, #1. This was a huge surprise to me. I didn't really think anything of it. One of my buddies at the comic store said, "Look, this really surprised the hell out of me. You should give it a look." And being a fan of, Terminator franchise to a point, and basically of the first RoboCop film, those of you who've been watching me talk about my non-comic book films, I admire what they do here. Basically, what we have is the future. Skynet, is taking control. They're exterminating humans. We're basically dealing with Laura Amandala. She is basically the last human being on Earth. And she's trying to hide from Skynet and the Terminators. She wanders into this museum, in which I'm sure there are a number of Easter eggs. I saw at least one, which I think is actually a reference to Spielberg's film AI, Artificial Intelligence, which I thought was kind of interesting. Most people don't care for that movie. I think it's actually quite good. But she's basically looking for a weapon. She's trying to defend herself. She's looking for a weapon, and she sees all these different robots. She sees an ED-209, and she sees RoboCop in this case, but she sees RoboCop's gun, more importantly. So she breaks in, opens it up, grabs the gun. She is grabbed by a Terminator at the same time, but then bam, out comes RoboCop, and he's trying to figure out A, where he is, B, what's going on, and she essentially is just more or less thinking of him as just another robot, just another machine. And there's a great moment in which, in order to save her, because his directives are still intact to serve, to protect and serve, serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law. And so he uses that little, thing that he uses to interface with the computers, and he takes over the ED-209 and uses it to annihilate a whole shitload of Terminators. But then a huge shocker of an ending comes, and that was like, wow. I'm really interested to see where this goes from here. It was a big surprise, a great comic. Because I read the Frank Miller, Walt Simonson for a long time ago. It didn't really work for me. But this is much better start. Rob Williams does the writing. PJ Holden does the art. Really, really good comic. Check it out. We'll see you in a minute. Okay.